chat, sorry.
Go ahead.
Um, Nikhil asked, how can we build a rapport with the professor? With the professor.
Go ahead.
I can answer that one if you want.
Please, go ahead.
What I did was I just emailed professors in the departments that I was interested in, and like basically based off of that, I was so actually when I was applying, it was interesting because I actually thought I was going to go into chemistry and history and double major in that, and like maybe continue with law or like maybe something technical, not sure. And now I'm doing CS. But the point was that I was able to mention the professors that I talked to in my essays and say how they inspired me to apply. And I got phone calls, and that was the thing that really helped me, uh, really helped me with my like application and building that connection. And I would say like yeah, I like definitely you could do that ahead of time also, and just like now you could start talking to them and ask them about their research and like anything that they've been up to. I think their research is a very strong talking point. So that's what I did.
I think one of the things you were able to also get away was when we looked at their profile of those professors, we were able to see something exciting about what they had done like maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And we referenced some of that in our email. So it didn't honestly matter if we had some quality questions or not, but just saying, hey, I see some cool things you've done. And I'm an aspiring student of chemistry here in the school. I would like to know a little bit more about your research, how you went into it, is a great starting point. And you don't, and of course, I have a section, I do a workshop at some point I'll be doing about interviewing colleges and interviewing professors and admissions teams. But it's fun. I mean, Shred, did you have a fun time talking to them? I mean, what was it like talking to these guys? I mean, seriously,
It
be
was
open to the team.
it was painful because I was really stressed about the impression I was making, but it was worth it. So I 100% say you.
How was it worth it?
Huh?
How was it worth it? Were you able to
I
reference
was
them in
able to go to
your,
the schools that I
no, but
wanted.
you were able to reference it in your applications.
Yeah,
Saying
exactly. So
Professor John Doe, I talked to him, stuff like that.
it made my essays a lot stronger, and not just that, it one thing that I have to say is that after emailing professors, I had never emailed professors before in my life before emailing them for college apps, but every I have not been without a research position in college since I've come to college because I don't have a fear of messaging professors anymore. So being willing to talk to professors about their research, I've actually worked in 4 different labs now, and so like and that goes to the same actually that also goes to research, because if you build a connection with a professor now and you talk to them about their research, there's a very very high chance they'll let you come and just do work with them, and you can add that to your resume too. So yeah, just email professors. They're really nice, and they more than likely they'd love to have you on their team and like help out with some way. And even if they don't have space for you that way, you can just ask them to talk about the school environment a bit. So either way, you're going to get something out of it. It's just like a win-win situation.
When we started doing all this in July, August of senior year, Shreya was very stressed out. She had so much work to do. So like I literally remember sending her documents. Like I created a Google spreadsheet with her where I would put the name of the professors, link to their resume and their email address and give it to her to do the work. So as parents, you can add a lot to give that kind of support to the kid. But if you're in junior year and you're going through this process, you could do a lot of this on your own. I mean, yes, you have a lot going on your plate, but you'll just, I mean, think of the impression you're forming on that professor if you reach out to the professor 2 or 3 times from junior year onwards. And I say all this with a lot of emphasis because one of the big things you are losing out this year or will lose out is this whole thing become SAT becoming optional, that you need this jack. You need people to propagate your cause in front of those committees. So do that
And
and you'll be okay.
uh, Anand, I'll mention your question in a second, but Nikhil's question just he asked more about how do you identify like those professors and what are other options where
Let's come
mission
to that.
have
We'll come to,
Naviance.
we're actually losing time right now, but go ahead. If you have a quick answer to that, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to say I'm sorry, but I think Naviance is useless. I didn't use it at all. Like, it was actually the most useless website I've ever seen in my entire life. But on that note, there I forget the exact name. There was this one website that I used that like I was able to put in like my statistics and stuff, and they just kind of like gave me some like they kind of matched my fit to that school, not like my chances of getting in, but my fit with the environment at that school. So that one's really good. And Anant asked how much more emphasis will be placed on college essays due to the SAT being optional, and that's actually a